Okay, so today what I want to do is talk about preventing knee injuries. And if you are a dancer, you're a runner, if you play basketball, whatever sport you want to play, very commonly you're strong throughout range, but you have a weak point through inner range. And that's the range that I want to focus on today. So I'll just talk a little bit about anatomy. And we're just going to have a look at Ange's legs. So basically, with your quads, you've got your teardrop muscle, so your VMO muscle, and then you've got your three other muscles. Your VMO is always your most important muscle, and if you see an athlete that's very developed on the outside and not so developed on the inside, you sort of know that you might be in for a few issues with the knees. And what we want to look at is that most people, when they use their knees, when they're walking, they'll use their flexion, so they'll be taking their stride, and then as they come into heel strike, what they'll do is they'll lock their knees, so they'll go into that hyperextension. And that's not a really smart strategy because it doesn't use quad strength, so it leads to weakness, and it'll really wear out a knee over time. We'll have a look at how that plays out on a step as well. So we've got Ange on the step here, and commonly people will push from that degree. So say she's at 30 degrees now, she'll push through and momentum will lock her through. So again, that doesn't require quad strength to do that. Then we'll have a look at how that plays out with squats. So we'll just go over to the wall. So we're looking at how it plays out with going upstairs and running up hills. When we're looking at strengthening, say with a wall squat, same thing, gravity will actually just assist with the squat. So just come back up and you'll find that most people will drop through this 20 degrees and then they'll use their strength from where they have strength, from sort of 20 degrees and beyond. As she comes up, she'll push from there and then lock through, okay? So she perpetuates that gap of strength. What we want to do is we want to fill that gap. So we're very aware of this sort of 0 to 20 degree type of range. And oftentimes if you ask people to try and activate their quads in that range, they often can't. So one of the tricks to get that going is to use a ball between the knees and just get them to squeeze the ball. So just squeezing, and you can actually palpate and feel VMO and it's activating there. And then she's going to keep squeezing, keep it tight, good on you, as she drops through to 35 degrees usually. And then same thing, straightening up. See, she's got to really work to concentrate on squeezing that ball and keeping that VMO active. We'll have a look at that from the side. So same thing, squeezing in. And that's the hardest section when you're going from 0 to sort of say 10, 15 degrees. See, it's pretty easy for her to activate quads at that point there. And then same thing, concentrating. So here's where she's concentrating, squeezing, making sure that you're active. And you don't have to hyperextend, just going up to that 0 degrees, so up to straight. Excellent. Just switch over. So that's what you want to think of. As an athlete, you're probably very strong through most of your range, through your quads. You want to basically be thinking of that last little section, so 20 degrees through to 0, and then very importantly 0 degrees through to around 20 degrees. Many people will have a lot of difficulty activating it at that point. And if you think about your actual function, so you think about landing as a dancer, you think about changing directions, or your heel strike with your runners. If you don't have that strength in that inner range, you're going to cause overuse injuries, and if you're doing that at speed, you're going to cause dramatic issues. So you hear about ACL tears, you hear about meniscus problems, and all the rest of it. So very important to start to fill that gap. Think about that last section. Use that little exercise as a medicine type of exercise to make sure that you can do it yourself, and then mentally start to transfer it through to your other activities. If you have that strength right through range, it's going to help your lateral quickness, it's going to help your speed generally, and it's going to help your jump heights, all of those types of things. So get going with that and start to use it to stay injury-free and healthy forever.